Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Game Now. It's going to be episode 39. And just to let you guys know, we all will be out of town next week. So we are going to record episode 40 right after this. So just in case we have on the same clothes or you're like, man, why those guys look kind of the same? It'll be recorded right after this, the week ahead. So that's more of a fun kind of episode. We are recording this on Sunday morning at 10:12 on July 27th, 2025, which means it's almost time to go back to school. And it's starting to sweat a little bit. I got a month left, but I'm gonna enjoy it. Gonna have a great fun time this upcoming weekend with a wrestling event. But Caroline hasn't been here in a while, so let's welcome her back. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, just been doing a lot of traveling over the weekends, but it's summertime, trying to enjoy it as much as I can because, in a couple of months it's gonna be cold again.
Horrible, horrible. So welcome back, Johnny. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing just fine. Doing just fine.
Good. And BJ should be joining us soon, so we'll keep an eye out for him when he joins. We'll just let him in and he'll kind of join the conversation. So actually I want to just start off, Caroline, catch up with you, what you've been playing, how's things been going. No one's seen you in a while, so what's going on?
Yeah. So reason why you guys haven't seen me in a while is because again, with all the travel over the weekend and trying to coordinate everything, I started a new job, and a lot of that job is traveling. So I really haven't been available for anybody, including myself. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying it. I'm doing a lot. So a lot of it's like just traveling to different manufacturing plants. So, and I like that. I like that part of my job. And then trying to get my feet wet as well. So it should be calming down. Um, but somehow I still bring my tablet and like my PlayStation controller. So in case like there's good Wi-Fi, I actually have the ability to play my PlayStation. So I've had a couple nights where I was able to do that. I've been playing Palworld a lot. Um, and then yep, I'm hooked on it. They say it's like Pokemon, but for me, it's a little bit like Animal Crossing because you're building stuff, you're getting
Okay.
like all these resources, and then you're trying to build your base. And so, like, I think I was telling you guys earlier, like, I was spending a couple hours just building a base and trying to make it look the way I want it to look. So
Yeah.
that's been good. And then, like, I finally got my Switch too. Um, so I have only been so we played the one time that we played Mario Kart. That was a lot of fun. That was the only time I played Mario Kart. But when I don't have internet, I've been playing what was it, Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda
Okay.
Wind Waker. So I've never actually finished the game. I think I only put in a couple hours in the game and never actually like gone through the whole game. So I'm like really excited to, you know, play it.
Um so you said you feel like it's more like Animal Crossing. Is that just because I think people compare it to Pokemon because of the pals? But
Yeah, yeah.
are you just saying everything you kind of feel like it leans more towards Animal Crossing?
No, there's just aspects of it that are reminiscent of it. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, like, everybody plays games differently, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know, like, how you play Power World, but for me, I want to catch them all, like, just like in
yeah.
Pokemon, right? I want to catch them all. And like, if there's a boss that's like at the level, like, I want to beat the bosses and try to catch the bosses. But
hmm
then, like I said, my zen is like building my base. I don't know. I'm level 17 right now. I don't know if it's like if stone is like where it's at, but like if I can upgrade my base, I will upgrade my base and probably like just be dismantling it 5 6 times already. So
There is more metal and glass. I don't have any
oh,
of those, but metal and glass.
okay, I'm definitely gonna want a glass
That's
base.
the last one, I believe. So,
Okay, so I'll
um,
be dismantling my base another 5 or 6 times.
Johnny, what about you? Been playing anything? How's it been going, man?
Yeah, I've been trying to play a little bit of League once again. I think I was playing that last time too. So I'm back in the League trap. Been playing some competitive games, some ranked games, and yeah, getting back into it. But I think I'm wondering how my gaming is going to change in the near future. So anyone with a Windows, so this is one problem with PC gaming. So Windows is getting an update,
hmm
like a forced update in October, I think. So anybody that's running a Windows machine that's running, I think Windows 10 or earlier, Well, I think they're dropping support for Windows 10. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a choice to make. I've either got to get another hard drive and install a new version of Windows on it, or or stop playing games. Or the other option, which I'm really considering, is making the jump over to Linux, and just seeing what games actually run on a Linux machine.
Why? So I don't know much about this part. You can't just update it from 10 to 11. That's not an option.
Some machines have that capability, and I don't know if this is still the case, but historically, you've needed to install a new operating system. You need a clean hard drive to start from. So you might need to reformat a hard drive and completely like wipe whatever's on it, and start a new system, start a new operating system. I just dropped my phone. It's kind of I would say, a headache.
I have my, I don't know where they are, because when you got your system, did you do a pre-build or did you build?
I built mine, yeah.
Because I have the disk drive that I got from Microsoft, not the disk drive, I can't think of it, the USB stick, and it had, so I've downloaded Windows 11 on my system multiple times. So you just put that in, download, and then.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's different these days. I haven't
Okay.
looked at it in quite a while. But so back when I was doing this, gosh, 5 years ago or something like that, or more, it was a process. And I know on the alert that I'm getting through Windows, it's saying that my system doesn't meet the requirements for one reason or another, to directly update. So I think I need, as far as I know, I think I need a new hard drive. It'd be great news to hear that I don't, but yeah, but I might switch to Linux anyway, and just,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't like being beholden to Microsoft and all of their whims.
Okay. I will not be switching to Linux, but I understand. I get what you're saying. And I don't, to be honest, I don't know too much about Linux. So how would that go? How would that change things for you?
So I'm not too educated on it myself. What I understand is it's an open source platform, so it's not necessarily owned by any particular company, or people aren't profiting off of it. So there's not like, forced updates like there are to Windows, to the next version of Windows, that sort of thing. I think there's sort of a bit of a learning curve into it. I think you have to know a little bit more about what you're doing, which I don't. So I'll have to learn a little bit more. But my brother's a software engineer, so I'm sure that he could help me with walking my way around it.
I think you'll like using Linux. It's actually a lot simpler than the iOS and not iOS, the Apple operating system and the Windows operating system. It's at least like a lot of coders I know, a lot of software engineers, like it's just easier for them to manipulate and like just do what they need to get done. It's a very simple interface.
Nice. Yeah, I think the only concern that I might have is what games are compatible and what aren't. But we'll find out one way or another.
Okay. I've also been playing Palworld with Caroline and my cousins and BJ a little bit. So, Johnny, I was telling Caroline and BJ yesterday, I did not understand the mass of the game with the map. Like, this is very big. I think when we played, I only traversed a little bit of it. I wasn't able to, like, I just didn't know all the stuff that was on there. And now I'm kind of playing it and getting really into it. I'm finding out that it's just a huge game, a huge map, but with pals, there's pals I haven't seen. I mean, I've started 4, 5, 6 fresh games, but there's pals that I've never encountered before. So I'm finding that really cool. Did you find yourself noticing that it was a big giant map when we played? Did you feel like that, or?
I remember it was pretty big. I'm sure they've had to come out with more stuff since I was playing. I think it was a couple of years since I was playing, right? Or was it? I forget when it even came
been
out.
That long, but well, I guess it came out last January. So
okay, yeah, year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting out to like the desert, and there was like this area with like a weird, like abandoned city that I was flying around in. Then like I flew out to this big old tree that was out there, but there wasn't anything out there yet. So I'm sure they've added more since we were playing.
Yeah, because they added all that. I don't know how to. Once again, I don't know if I'm saying Terraria. Is that how you say the name of the game? But they add
Terraria? Yep, Terraria.
Terraria. There we go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Terraria. They added all that stuff on there, so it's a lot of new stuff. A lot of new stuff on there. So you can fish now. You can fish for pals, et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, I ain't gonna get into all that. Just traversing a map and going through the map. I'm finding it to be way larger than I thought before. So it's pretty cool and getting back into it.
I think the biggest thing that keeps me from really investing in Palworld is that you have to start fresh every time. Like on
Yeah.
if you switch servers, you have to start fresh. There's no progression. So the thing I like about Valheim, so I think Palworld is a blend between Pokemon and Valheim. That feels like the closest. That's where I see the most parallels. In Valheim, you can keep your progress on. So your character that you take between realms keeps you keep the armor, you keep your skills, you keep your recipes that you unlock. In Palworld, it's like brand new every time, and I feel like
And that's dumb.
I agree. I think that's, as far as I know, I think that started with Minecraft, where like Minecraft is you go between servers and you start completely fresh. But in Minecraft, it doesn't really matter because like your progress is defined by the items that you have. So it's like, and it's not that hard to get items. So my theory is that this trend started with Minecraft, and then other games were like, "Oh, this really popular game does it. Let's do it for our game too," because it. We don't have any. I don't know why. Why is it?
Yeah, I would. I can't even. I was going to ask you, is there any other games you know that does it? Because I don't understand why they would want you to do that.
It
V
was
Rising does it too, and I never play V Rising online. I just do my own private little thing because it's to play the first grind over and over again just isn't fun. So yeah,
And
I don't
is
know.
that is what's the game you love? Is what's the computer game? 3 Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's
Did
Gate.
that happen? Like, do you have to start?
So that is kind of a it is. I was actually thinking about Baldur's Gate, and I'll tell you why. So in Baldur's Gate, there are 3 acts, and so when you start a fresh character, you have to start from Act One. Act One is super fun. It's a great time, but I've played through it like 8 times, and now if I want to play Baldur's Gate, so I'll also sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The issue with Baldur's Gate is kind of a completely different problem, but very similar. and so let me try to bring us there. So the games that I was talking about, Palworld and V Rising, you completely wipe your progress when you go over to another server. So there's no you don't hold on to any of your progression. You have to start fresh, and that's kind of a bummer, kind of a huge bummer. In Baldur's Gate 3, if you're playing with other people, either other people have to join your game and make new characters in the point of the story where you are, or you have to join somebody else's game and make a new character and join wherever they are in that story. I think that's kind of the only way they can really do it, because otherwise you could have like a 12th level character come into somebody's Act 1 and just completely throw off the balance or something like that. So Baldur's Gate, their hands are kind of tied. They can't. I can't think of a better way for them to do it than just this sort of kind of awkward. You join somebody else's story with a new character, and I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing to say. Baldur's Gate has the advantage of it being sort of like about a story and something that you're creating. Yeah. So there's nothing to say that you couldn't go in, create your own character in their world, and like play through that version of your own character. But the thing that I was thinking about Baldur's Gate, so the real complaint I have about Baldur's Gate and having to redo the first grind over and over again, is that I would love like an act select option. Like you could start at Act 2 or Act 3, and I know it'd be really tough to do that because there are so many things that you can do in Act 1 that like will change how Act 2 and Act 3 play out. But like if you had like a list where you could check like the choices that you made.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like I've been rambling about, but the problem that I'm highlighting here is that I don't like doing the same work over and over and over
Agreed.
again.
Agreed.
And it gets to the point where games lose their luster for me, and I think that's the biggest reason why I've stopped playing. Like that's the biggest thing that stops me from playing Baldur's Gate again and again and again is that I can't like jump ahead. That I have to redo this same act if I want to play a different character.
Like there's no new game plus or anything like that on Baldur's Gate.
Right? Yeah. No, there's no new game plus. There's Yeah, and I would love to be able to just jump into the content that I've only seen like once. I've only been to Act 3 like a small handful of times, whereas Act 1 I've probably done is probably double digits that I've been through.
Okay.
Act 1. So
Yeah, that's why I did research this time when we did the private dedicated server, whatever you want to call it, private dedicated. Because now you can save. So I have our stuff saved so that like when you had it the first time. So like if we do decide to stop playing for 5 months and then we're like, hey, let's get back on there, it's saved still, so we can actually get back on there and not have to. Because I'm done start though. Like if I have to start over again, I won't be playing. I was kind of there where you were at. Like I've started so many games, at least 6 or 7 games, and I don't want to do that with the same building, getting a spear and doing all this stuff and building a base. I'm done with that. I'm done with that nonsense.
Yeah, it was actually. I mean, it's only my second time restarting, or I guess my first time, however you want to see it. And it was still really frustrating for me.
Yeah.
And I was only like level 15.
Yeah.
Like, where are my other pals?
Yeah, so it looks like Palworld, you don't have to wipe the server for updates. Some games you have to completely wipe, but so at least the AI says
Better not.
No, that's what, and I've read because they got like Q&A on their website, all these different questions, and I make sure I looked it up, and I'm a part of their Discord too. So, all right, let's get to this week. Some of our topics for this week. I wanted to start off with there's always discussion, a little bit, kind of Johnny kind of led into it a little bit, but how and I was looking at some games that I was watching on TV, and sometimes people complain like you should still be giving content to GTA 3, and it's like, man, that was 20 years ago. Like, how long do you want us to? So and then people get mad. It could be your favorite game, like Johnny. Claire Obscure could be your favorite game, like you said, and it's like you want them to keep adding DLC, and it's like, all right, that was 20 years ago, Johnny. How long do you want us to keep? How long do you want us to keep supporting this? So I wanted to ask you guys, what's a realistic time frame? Like a game came out X, Y, whatever year or time. How long should a developer still support that?
I think I'm gonna have a hot take. Caroline, do you want to start this one off?
I'll start. I think it depends on the game or the type of game, right?
And hold on, sorry, Caroline. We're gonna say this is because an unsuccessful game, then you just cut it off.
Yeah.
But we're gonna say this is some kind of sort of successful game.
It's so that's why I say that makes sense. Again, I think it depends on the game. I think when I first read the question, I was like, my first initial reaction was like 10 years, because like there's definitely like years I would go back on other games, and like I said, I'm playing Wind Waker. This was over 20 years ago, if I remember correctly, since they came out with it. Not that they're supporting it, they're just porting it in a different platform. But like, oh man, what's the game? Oh, World of Warcraft, for example. Like, people still play it. Like, and there's always updates for it, and it's not like they've lost a lot of interest. And here we are, 20 years later. Is it 20? At least 15 years. Definitely at least 15 years later, where people are still playing it. So why support something that's not broken, or why support something that people are still playing? Or why stop supporting something that people are still playing? So, but that being said, if it's something like an MMO, you just continue it until there's like no interest. But something like RPGs, or like I guess JRPGs, where you have DLC contents, definitely no more than 10 years. That's realistically, because I know that they're constantly. So I play Xenoblade Chronicles, and they're constantly putting DLCs. But I think after like year 3, I'm like, I kind of moved on to other games for me. So.
Okay. Go ahead, hot take, man. Go ahead.
So back in my day, we would go to the store. We would buy a little box that had a little plastic cartridge in it. We would go home and we would play it, and it would be fun, and it would be over. And there was no possible way to update and add new content to what we had on this cartridge. We got we got the product that they put out. We enjoyed it, and then we played it until we couldn't bear it anymore, and then we got another game. I think there is this thing that really gets me is I think gamers there's like a really rampant entitlement, I think, in the gaming industry on part of the consumers, and maybe the United States in general. But anyways, I think
I think that's just life.
quite possibly people think that they like that a company is supposed to do something or like owes them anything. And it's like, what are you talking about? There's like nobody. First of all, nobody owes you anything, especially a corporation whose sole purpose is to make money. It's like, as Caroline said, if people are still playing a game, if it's still profitable, if there's enough people to justify the development of more content, be sure that it will probably find its way to you, because if the whole purpose of these companies existing in the first place is to make money. Some people do that while producing something really fantastic, like that is like tantamount to art, such as Clair Obscur. And that's like the best case scenario. But trust and believe that, well, there are some games that I think people make out of pure passion without maybe expectation of a lot of money coming from it. I think Dwarf Fortress is something that I'm thinking of now, where this is something that was just this obsession that became a huge, big, crazy game. From these, I think it was a pair of brothers that made this thing, and it was they'd put it up for free. You can still get the game for free, but if money weren't the almost, it's so frequently the primary motivation that if that wasn't there, the gaming landscape would look very, very different. It'd probably be just computers with no consoles and like very kind of niche, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's always about the money. If you think that you are owed fidelity from any organization to keep a game that you love alive, I'm sorry, you're wrong. It's sad when you don't have access to something that you like anymore. But it's kind of like life, man. You gotta, you have to accept that the reality does not bow to your wants. So I don't know. I feel like I went unnecessarily hard against people that are sad about losing their games there, but they need.
I mean, you spoke. I'm a master debater. I love debating. So you did speak on something that I'm on the other side with. Sometimes in sports or in different jobs, they call, they'll say nepotism. So you hire this person. In my opinion, if I'm the principal of a school, since we both worked in schools, and my friend Johnny comes to get a job, of course I'm going to show a little more love to him. I mean, that's the only smartest thing to do. Now, if Johnny and person A are both like a 90%, who do you think I'm going to go with? Now, if Johnny's a 70 in person A, then we got something to talk about. Then it's probably going to be this person. But of course, like some people complain about that. Of course, if I'm going to do something and my brother's there too, of course I'm going to show him a little more love. And I do believe in sometimes where if a person's doing something for, maybe not in the context that you said it, but I do think people earn stuff. If a quarterback is the Lions never won a Super Bowl since the 30s, and then we just win 5 straight, I pretty think you owe that player something for getting you there. I mean, you were paying them money, yes, but they got you somewhere you haven't been in 100 years. You probably should give them a little more leeway with some stuff, or they could be like a lifetime. It don't have nothing to be millions of dollars, but maybe you got lifetime tickets or something like that. Like, so that's just my side rant, but I do think people sometimes earn things or
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think people definitely do earn things. So I think there's, when I said earlier that I don't think anybody owes you anything, I think there is maybe more of like, gosh, where we might be steering away from gaming, but
that's okay.
There's something about there's a moral side of things where people probably work to deserve certain things, but there's nothing that says that people have to give it to you. Yeah. So in this case, if the Lions were very successful for several years in a row and it was one particular player, I think that it would be right to maybe expect some gratitude from the owner, from the manager, from from the people running the team. But there's nothing that says that it has to happen. I think publicly it would look really bad if they treated this particular player like crap after he worked for 5 years to get them somewhere. I think people would really appreciate seeing that this player was rewarded for his hard work and dedication. But outside of the contract, at least, there's no
Oh yeah,
obligation
yeah.
for it to happen.
I think people get those words though, where because I said earn, you said oh. Some people are like, man, you owe me this. I did this. Well, they don't owe you anything, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I do believe some people. Michael Jordan, for instance, he earned a certain amount of things. I think that
Sure,
is
sure.
applicable in different organizations and things like that.
But I do think it changes if there's an agreement. So if there is a plan for a game that goes like there is, if you buy into a game, here's an actual good real example. So Civ 7. Oh my gosh, back to Civ 7. So I paid $120 to play Civ 7, and in that $120 there was the promise of two like significant major updates to the game that were like coming in the future, two major expansion packs that I paid for with that $120. As far as I'm concerned, that's a contract that I've entered into with, and obviously I don't know if it's legally binding. I didn't read the fine print. I probably should start, but I'm not going to. I paid $120 to purchase Civ 7 and the next two iterations of that game. So because I paid that money, I do feel that I'm owed these next two things because that was what was promised. That's what I've paid for. That was the contract that we agreed upon. So for games that don't have this promise of future content, there's no responsibility there on the side of the people making it to offer you something that you didn't already pay for, that you didn't already agree to. So I think there's a sort of contract involved that would justify being owed something. But are there specific games that that people are talking about that they're? You mentioned GTA 3. Was that something that was?
No, I was just bringing it was just a conversation where people still want long time games to be. For me, I never answered the question, but for me, I think just 1 to 2 years. I think the problem is what you kind of said is we used to get a cartridge or a disc, and it was all there. I think now a problem I have is usually with fighting games where all right, the new Mortal Kombat, the new Street Fighter's coming out, but Ryu's not on there. Well, he's one of the original characters. Why wouldn't he be on there? That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
So but their strategy, at least what some friends who play fighting games told me, is all right, they're gonna put him in season 3 when the game was here. Now it's starting to die down here. Oh, Ken's coming out. Now it's back up here. Oh, Sagat's coming out. Oh, now it's back up here. And I don't like that. The games used to be released, like you said, all the content on there. Boom. I know we're in a new age. Some people might try to counteract you with saying, well, we used to have phones that didn't have touch screens, but now we got, we used to have pagers, but now, they might try to throw that at you. But I think the games just aren't, they either they're unfinished and they're releasing them to us. And then, all right, we're going to get to it down the road. Or one of my theories is they are finished. And then, all right, but we still going to hold back. I don't know. We're still going to hold back the Undertaker because he's one of the best wrestlers ever. So we're going to put him 2 years down the line so you can get back in it,
And they're finished. There's no way that, how can you have a Street Fighter game without Ryu? That's finished. It's finished.
It don't make sense to me.
But,
yeah, I think so. Is this what the Stop Killing Games thing is about? I saw.
I heard about that. I watched the 30-minute thing of that last. It's about all right. Johnny brought Baldur's Gate 3 and whenever it came out, 2021, and you want to keep playing it whenever you want to play it instead of having to rebuy it. You want them the servers to still be technically online. Okay. You don't want to have to get on there and all right, this game is taken down. You can't play it anymore. Because some games are getting that, like the Crew. One of the Crews got that where people purchased it and brought it, but now they can't play it anymore because it was online.
Sure. Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're talking about with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That feels a little bit like part of this conversation. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. Should we open that can of worms? Do you think, or should we? Because it sounds close but a little different.
Yeah, let's leave it. Let's leave it. So I forgot what I was exactly doing. What made me think of this? Something was on TV. Something was on TV. Maybe was it the Fantastic Four? I don't think it was the Fantastic Four. Anyways, that's irrelevant. What movie or show do you think could make a successful game? Um, and if you want to throw in a developer, maybe some a developer does really good with this type of game. But what movie or show do you think? Because usually it's the games going over to a movie kind of thing. But what movie or show do you think could be made into a successful type of game? Either one
The
of you.
Boys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think
How
that
about-
could make a sick game.
Okay, what kind of game would you like? Would it follow the story? Would it be a fighting game? Like what?
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be like an RPG. Like you are, if you play maybe as one of the superheroes or the supers, either through the story or maybe another story that's happening like in the world. Because in the story of the Boys, there are supers that are sort of like throughout the world, and I think there'd be a lot of potential there to play something kind of cool. You could. I'm imagining like a third person sort of over the shoulder sort of. I'm trying to think of a good comparison. The first comparison that comes to mind is Crackdown for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, so you played a guy that like would run through and you would get powers and like you could like jump on like eventually jump so high you could jump on top of buildings. That sort of thing. I think that sort of game, like over the shoulder, using your powers, increasing your skills, that sort of thing. Within the world of the Boys would be a lot of fun.
Okay, Caroline, what you think?
First of all, I don't think another video game should be turned into a movie ever. Like it's just
Okay.
I think it's just bad. It's a bad idea. With one exception, I think they should make a GTA movie. I think that would be fun to watch. So this already has been put into a video game, but like not lately. So like I would like to see another James Bond video game. I don't know. Was the last one GoldenEye? I don't know. GoldenEye was a lot of fun. Like that was an FPS that I actually very much enjoyed back in the day. So if we can get another James Bond game, that'll be great.
Just the same as GoldenEye, same concept. You want updated graphics? Like what you thinking?
Updated graphics for sure. I mean, yeah, because this is not Nintendo 64 era.
Yeah.
Just another first-person shooter would be great. I know that we've talked about the oversaturation of first-person shooters, but again, having another James Bond game, that to me that differentiates them because like you're playing as a spy and it's nothing like futuristic or whatever. It's not another army game. It's and it's like a series that I feel like a lot of generations have loved throughout the years. So there's going to be some nostalgia for other people, and then I think it'll attract new gamers as well. So nothing. You don't need the fancy graphics or anything like that. Just keep the story. I like the James Bond stories are actually very compelling, and I mean, at least I like the James Bond stories. Yeah. But yeah, another James Bond game would be really nice. I don't know what the latest one is though.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. I'll have to type that up because I remember GoldenEye did release on one of the current consoles, like the same old GoldenEye, but I don't know if it was anything newer that came out. For me, I got two. One's gonna be real popular, the other one's not as popular. But I think because I only know about D&D stuff because of Stranger Things. So I think Stranger Things, just a RPG esque kind of game. Maybe I don't know how they would do it, but just I feel like that would be a nice just story, a long story. You can do it in parts. It even can be one that I don't know if you guys know about like the Telltale games, but it could be one of those Telltale kind of story games. Since it is in chapters, I think that would be it already has the fan base. I think that would be good. And another one that already kind of has it's basically GTA, but they're on motorcycles. I don't know if you guys know what Sons of Anarchy is, but I think that game, they're already doing GTA stuff on the show. I mean, I've watched that series multiple times. So maybe take out a lot of the cars, motorcycle groups, things like that. It reminds me of this game that I used to like way back. It's called Road Rash. I don't know if you guys know that one, but that's an older game. But they're on motorcycles. You like hit people with clubs and stuff. It's just like you're riding up and down the street. I'll pull up that B-roll in a second. But
I'm surprised they haven't made that into a video game. That was a great show.
Okay, did you watch it all the way through?
I don't think I watched the last season.
Okay,
Johnny, you to watch shows without like watching the last season. It was the same thing with Game of Thrones. I didn't watch the last season of Game of Thrones.
Johnny, you got any experience with that?
No,
Sam?
so I have to come clean. The one of the few reasons I said The Boys was because that was one of the like half dozen shows that I've ever watched. I've seen Breaking Bad, I've seen The Witcher, which is already a game. I've seen The Boys, and I've seen what's that? Like, there's one other major series that I was watching, but I'm not much of a show person, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I said Breaking Bad already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you a movie person?
I'm more likely to watch a movie than I am to watch a show. Yeah. Oh, and Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And Game of I could see a good game come out of Game of Thrones, but I would hope it has a better ending.
They're coming out. They're coming out with one. We talked about it on one of the podcasts. So here, this ain't the one I'm thinking of, but you kicking out people over. But it's not the game I'm thinking of. But they're coming out with one. But can you believe that? Because BJ and I didn't know how we would take it. It's gonna be a what's the game? What do you call it? A StarCraft kind of game?
RTS, real time strategy.
It's gonna be that's what that's gonna be. That's what the Game of Thrones game is gonna be.
Interesting choice.
That is an interesting choice.
So I don't know. Me and BJ and I talked. I don't know how I feel about that. But that's what it's gonna be.
I just assumed it was gonna be RPG.
The series, unfortunately, is dead to me. After season 6, I made up my own ending, and that's the better way to go. It's just
second to the last season. I forgot. I watched the second to last season. That was it.
Yeah, season 7 and season 8 were the real stinkers. And it's a real shame because, as far as I'm concerned, that was the best television ever created. Granted, like I said, I don't often watch TV or shows, so to speak.
So this is Road Rat 64. You're on motorcycles, knocking people out, hitting people, clubs, bats.
Yeah, I think I might have rented that game as a youth.
I never actually played this one, but I played the ones on like the Sega.
Okay.
What? So I have to ask this because I didn't watch it until we got together. So this was I've watched it twice in the last 2 years, the full series. What did you hate it? What was disliking about? What did
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
So I think in the last 2 seasons, it really kind of fell apart. There were characters that were making choices that like didn't make any sense. I feel like, oh gosh, what's the Tyrion?
Yeah, the little guy. Yeah.
Tyrion like lost all of his like his like sharp wit and intelligence. Like he just wasn't. And so nothing against, gosh, what's the actor's name? I think he was fantastic in the role. Yeah, Peter Dinklage.
Yep. Oh, he's a great actor.
Fantastic actor, but I think the writing was so trash in the last 2 seasons. So I think the 2 writers like really tried to wrap up everything because I don't know why. They had like the best thing ever going and they wanted to move on to something else, and they wrapped up like probably 5 seasons worth of material in 2 seasons. And Daenerys like just got her dragons killed because she like forgot that this. So the writers themselves said that this leader of this new nation that's coming in to conquer just forgot about, what was it called, the Iron Fleet or whatever. The writer said that she forgot that they were there, and that allowed them to just snipe one of her dragons with the ballista off their boat. It's horrible. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't know. They had something really fantastic. My theory is once they got ahead of the books, they couldn't. Yeah, what? They can't write. I think they're probably terrible writers, and they were leaning so heavily on George R.R. Martin's already established work that once they got into like new space that wasn't really complete yet, they just absolutely floundered, and the whole series immediately just took a hit and was turned what was fantastic into maybe the biggest embarrassment in television history.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm a newer watcher. I didn't feel like that. I mean, I love my favorite character. I'm impartial to certain characters. I mean, and now I'm thinking of it, she reminds me of Mael, but Arya Stark's my favorite character. The thing that I did, the thing that I think they did wrong, if I was taking that side, is the Night King and all those guys. Like to me, that's supposed to be the NWO. I'm just using wrestling terms. That's supposed to be the big thing, and I didn't feel like they were the big thing. They weren't doing enough for me. Like they were supposed to be this faction. That's what they'll call it in wrestling. That it's just, and then he drops the knife and then he gets killed. Like I needed to see them for a few episodes, just demolishing things. And I'm not talking about their zombies. I'm talking about them, the actual night people, whatever you want to call it. I need to see them destroying things, and I don't feel like I personally got that. So that kind of took me away.
That's an example of the sort of thing I'm talking about. Yeah, they had these really complex setups, and then when it came time to really pay it off, they just sort of like dropped it. It's like they didn't offer the necessary time or development to actually make these satisfying resolutions. So there were so many threads that they just like, instead of like taking the time to tie them off carefully, they just like cut them, and it's like, you wasted so much. It could have been the best thing ever. It really could have been. And you fucked it up. But yeah, and I know that they're continuing to make series or shows or whatever of it, and it's like, no, you've lost me forever.
Forever. Okay, fair. Our new segment that we started last week, Ask ChatGPT. So I did that. I stole this from another thing I was watching. This was a music podcast though, but they do it on there. So I found it good. I said, let's do it for a gaming podcast. So this week's question is, what is the best video game or who's the best video game villain of all time? And it could be from looks, it could be from what they say, what they did, the difficulty. That's up to your choosing. But Caroline, let's go with you first.
Best video game villain of all time.
And if you don't have one, I'll go to Johnny while you think on it.
Go to Johnny first.
Okay. This is probably going to be a huge surprise to people. My answer is Renoir from Clair Obscure Expedition 33.
On, man.
It's Renoir from Clair Obscure Expedition 33.
Yeah, I haven't played the game yet.
Sorry, that was his name, right? That was his name, right?
Yeah, that's his name.
Okay,
that's his name.
Just making sure. Yeah, because so you start the game with this guy being like super evil, just completely obliterating people, and like he is the most evil, like horrible person. You don't understand who he is. He's just you, and slowly throughout the game you learn who this person is, and you also learn that the reason why he is so callously
spoilers, Caroline. I'm not doing any spoilers.
Oh, Caroline, have you not played it? Should I not do spoilers?
I don't care.
Okay.
You can spoil. I've had the game since May. It's on me for not playing the game.
Sure. So you come to learn that this hyper callous person who is just like going through this world and slaughtering people is the fictional manifestation of Renoir's real life wife, who has created this monstrous depiction of this person, who you eventually meet the real Renoir, who is not so much. I mean, he is much more empathetic to the problems of the party, but still does the same thing. And then by the end of the game, I myself found myself being on his side. So there was this whole journey from being like, oh, this guy's a horrible monster, to wait a minute, this guy's actually got a pretty solid point and it's actually kind of right. So yeah, Renoir, Expedition 33, best villain ever.
Okay. He loved that game. I could say, hey, I ain't mad at you. Caroline?
Man, my first I'm just gonna go with my first instinct. So M. Bison from Street Fighter, just because he's just pure evil. Like we're talking about like the worst villain, right? I mean, because like there's villains out there that you kind of like sympathize or empathize with.
Yeah.
M. Bison, like he just sucks as a person. Like he's just there to destroy the world domination. Like, he also sucks because he's also insanely difficult to beat in Street Fighter games. So at least I always have a hard time beating him, no matter which version of Street Fighter I'm playing. And then I'm gonna go with him.
M. Bison. Okay.
M. Bison. He's just
Mine's
curious.
just mine will be out of left field or maybe left field for you guys, but and I'm not a big fan of these games, even though we had it for the game and the last duel a couple weeks ago. But it's a character called Ocelot. He's a Metal Gear Solid, and it's just his voice lines. Like one that sticks in my head all the time is he's just fighting, you run. He's like, I love to reload during battle. I'm like, oh, this dude is like, okay, he talking to you as he's shooting you, as he's chasing you and there's multiple villains in Metal Gear who like talk to you during battle, and that's just like and then he's spinning. He's got the revolvers, and he's just constantly spinning them. And I'm like, man, I ain't gonna make it out of this game. He making me think I'm in the game right now. I'm like, this dude is just sweet. Like, okay. And he's just going around, he's ducking, dodging, and he just keeps saying like, "I love to read," and he reloads, and boom, and it's like, yeah. And a couple times that happened, all you hear is snake, snake, snake. That and for people who don't know, that's when you die. So it's like, damn, man, this dude really shot me up as he was talking to me. It's like someone actively beating you up. Like I told you, I was gonna beat you up, man. Like I told you to stop messing with me, and I said they just beating you up, and you're like, damn, I can't even do nothing about it. Just gonna sit here and let them. Johnny, you know who Ocelot is?
Oh yeah,
yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Caroline.
In Metal Gear 5, you're on the same team as him. So
okay.
He's
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
not familiar.
Okay. That's my guy. Ocelot. Yeah. That's one of my dudes. Let's kick it right here. All right, back on another last duel. These guys are on a streak today. For our second episode, there are going to be some themes. This is the start of the theme. There is a theme, Caroline always talks about the theme. This is the theme. These games are definitely going to be characters or games or franchises that you know. They're definitely going to be stuff that you know. Like, so I'm going to take Mario, for example. Like, you guys asked that question, do people know that? Yes, Mario. So these are going to be things that you're like, okay, I know who or what that was, or, I know Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. I think everybody knows Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. So it's going to be something like that. This week I ain't going to get too much because I really can't with the game. So let the question begin. Let me grab a pen right behind me, but you can question. I'm ready.
Do you play is the character that we're talking about an animal?
No. And it might not always be one character, but no, you do not.
Sorry, so you said in the beginning it's gonna be like characters that like we know, or like the general public will be like, hey, we know them too.
I say characters, it's not just characters or games. Like like I said, if you if one of the games was Mario Kart, like you guys would know what Mario Kart is.
But will like the general public know?
What
do you use it as a question? That's fine.
Yeah, I'll take that as for this game. Would the general public know the character or the game? What are you asking?
The theme. I'm asking about the theme. You said that.
But I thought you said we could use that as a question.
So let's just do the question. Like, will the general public know whether this game or these characters?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I got what you're saying. I'm gonna say
yeah. Like if I showed, I said like you were using the Mario example. If I showed my mom Mario, Mario plush doll, she's like, oh, that's Mario.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Did this game come out before 2015?
No.
Okay. Last 10 years.
Hold on. Sorry. Yes, it did. My apologies, Johnny. Yes.
Okay.
You said before. Yes.
We are talking about a specific game, right? Not a series.
What was that?
We're talking about a specific game, not a series.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a Nintendo game?
Yes.
Okay. That narrows it.
Okay. Nintendo game before 2015. Let's see. Did it come out before 2000?
Yes.
Jeez.
Okay.
That is 5. On a roll right now.
Before you said 2000?
So I think we're talking about like N64 and earlier, I think.
N64 is 1997.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. So it has to. I mean, well, is it a Mario game?
No.
Okay. I know you use Mario example, but like I'm trying to think what other Nintendo games are.
Do you use a sword in the game?
No.
Can you choose? Can you play as different characters?
No.
Nintendo game though. And it's not an animal. Is it a Pokemon game?
No.
Oh.
This might be a clarifying question. When we asked the question about if this was a Nintendo game, Andre, is your interpretation of that question? Was this game on Nintendo or was this Nintendo exclusive? Like what were you answering there?
I guess let's make sure in the future we answer specifically, but I was answering that it is on a Nintendo console.
Okay,
Not
meaning
necessarily.
it could be on other consoles too.
Yes, that's what my But I thought you guys specifically. I thought she was asking, is this on Nintendo? Is this?
I think I should have said exclusive. That's my bad. So it could be another console.
For sake of this one and things that we just talked about now, it is just on Nintendo.
Just on Nintendo? Okay.
Yeah, for the sake of this, for the sake of today.
Huh. There goes my other question. I was going to ask you was
Let's see. You don't play as multiple characters, or you can't choose different characters. No swords. No. So I'm trying to think of what are other famous Nintendo IPs. It's not Pokemon. It's not Mario. It's not Zelda.
people, I don't think non-gamers would know if it's Zelda or not. So I'm trying to think.
You don't.
I was gonna go with the fighting games question because I wasn't specific on exclusive.
Yeah, so I think when I asked if you can choose multiple characters, that rules out fighting games too.
Yeah, that rules out fighting games for sure. So maybe it's a superhero. Do you think it's a superhero game? But I don't think it will be Nintendo exclusive.
Man, so Superman was a very terrible game on N64. It could be that kind of fits so far. People definitely know Superman, and it was an N64 exclusive, I think. And it was terrible.
Is it a superhero game?
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
We might be on it. How many questions do we have, Andre?
You guys only are at 10. A lot.
Is there
I don't know.
Do you play as somebody wearing a red cape?
Yes.
Does the person wear a blue suit with an S on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But what was the Superman exclusive game?
I think it was called Superman 64. I'm not positive.
Remember after Marvel Alliance. Since I know the general what you guys talking about, I'm gonna give it to you.
That is fair.
Is this Superman 64?
Correct.
Hey.
64. It is Superman 64, known as one of the worst games of all time.
Nice shot, Caroline. That was you that called Superman. That was you that called the superhero one.
Let me pull it up. I didn't pull it up because I was too busy laughing. I was trying to keep a straight face when y'all guys said it. So I never played this. I don't know much about it, but it kind of came up. So let me show it. Johnny obviously knows a little bit about it.
One of the worst
Man, 64. Yeah, one of the worst of all time. It kind of
looks like like going through the rings and stuff. It's like Star Fox 64.
Star Fox was something that I was thinking of, but then since we didn't play since there's no animals.
Yeah. Why is this bad?
I don't know. I didn't play
So
it.
I think the gameplay we're seeing now is probably someone that's pretty proficient at it because I've never played it myself. My first exposure to this game was watching the Angry Video Game Nerd. I think he did an episode on how bad this game was way back in the day, and yeah, he had a very I think it was him. I think he had a really frustrating time playing it, as he does all the games he plays.
It did. Where's the thing in the game? Lex Luthor is trapped. Blah 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 blah. It just said this. The license had expired with 3 E3 presentations and positive press covers prior to its release. It achieved strong sales and favorable reception. However, critical reviews were extremely negative, criticizing its unresponsive controls. What Johnny was talking about: technical flaws, repetitive gameplay, overuse of distance fog, and poor graphics. It's widely regarded as one of the worst video games ever made. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't got much to say. Especially when you look at this this box art of Concord. I mean, Superman. Being that I mean, it looks Anyways, my fault. That was a slip up. For myself, for Johnny, for Caroline, we're gonna try to record this next quick episode. So we're getting out here quickly. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. You guys got that.